To freedom of speech. I'll start again. I stand before you today as a British citizen, a man who has the right to freedom of speech, a man who accepts people's comments, and even though I may not agree with them, will humbly give them the right to view their opinions. So now, as a British citizen, I will now exercise my right to freedom of speech. Preaching, murdering, terrorising, raping, racist, paedophilic interpretation of Islam in this country. I will not accept you to be allowed to walk the same streets as all the other colours, creeds, cultures and religions of this land. I will not accept you to have a right to hold signs such as God bless Hitler and get ready for the real Holocaust, and then have the nerves to criticise Joe Welders to pointing out his resemblance between the Quran and Adolf Hitler's autobiography, Mein Kampf. There have been 2 attempts of Joe Welders trying to enter the UK to educate the government and this country of the evils going on in the world. On the first occasion, Lord Pearson had to unfortunately cancel due to the mafia-style threats being made towards Mr. Joe Welders, and also because of the threats that Lord Ahmed made of congregating 10,000 Muslims to demonstrate against his arrival. And this is the so-called religion of peace.
Take a picture for you.
On the second occasion, he was stopped at the Heathrow Airport and not allowed into the UK. Another act of the government appeasing militant Islam once again. Where are you bloody pulling me? This world stood and watched the Twin Towers burn due to radical Islam. We stood and watched trains and bombs blown up in London. We stood by and watched hostage videos produced by the Taliban. And Lord Atman has the audacity from threatening and stopping Parliament to watch a factual video showing why these acts of terrorism are happening in disgust. And this man is a lord. They should demote him to being the director of Woolworths.
Hey man, fuck you, mate. You don't want to say something. That's okay, that's fine. Just to the bottom.
I now stand in front of you as one of the 12 leaders of the English Defence League. I call on all religions, Sikhs, Christians, Hindus, Catholics, Jews, moderate Muslims, Buddhists and all others. Stand and exercise your freedom of speech. Make your communities and this government aware of this threat that we are fighting. We will soon be marching to the House of Commons, where stands a statue of Sir Winston Churchill, who led this country... At the House of Commons, where stands the statue of Sir Winston Churchill, who led this country to victory through winning the war against the Nazi ideology. Today, in this country's capital, we in this Defence League will spark the fire that will ignite this country to wake up and join our cause and start the revolution to eradicate militant Islam. To say. I now stand in front of you as a son and a grandson of 2 of the strongest, loving Sikh women I have ever met in my life. I was mostly raised by my grandmother and my mother, and during times of struggle and strife, fully had their loving support. One comment my grandmother and mother always never stopped telling me about, and they always said to me, was, Don't worry, it will be okay. We are here for you.
Oh! Shut the fuck up! Carry on.
Recently in Pakistan, three Sikh men were beheaded because they refused to convert to Islam. The Muslims involved in this attack then took their heads and disposed of them at the nearest Sikh temple. I don't want this to be a slight possibility of ever happening in this country. If the government today do not wake up and take fitna into heed, then this can be the future of England. I stand before you today as your brother, your son, your grandson, and I say to you right now, don't worry, it will be okay. The English Defence League is here, and we are here for you! God bless every single person in this country, of all religions, creeds and cultures. And you know what? Even God bless the Muslims, they'll need it for when they're burning in fucking hell.
I'm not speaking on behalf of EDL. I've got a platform I want to give. So you've got the EDL message, but Geert Wilders is a European MP, and so he's got issues there which are concerned of all of us. And so I wanted to give us some more thoughts about this issue. Right, when you look at this problem, the problem we have, what we're facing, is a special treatment for the Islamic part of the population. The special treatment we're talking about is things like exemption from rules on bigamy, the ability to wear the burqa and hide your face, the enforcing of halal meat, which, by the way, Sikhs are forbidden to eat. FGM, which is happening a lot here in London, child marriage and grooming, no-go areas and no-go buildings, the use of dogs, hate speech, and so on. Now the thing is, people complain about this, and there's two stupid complaints, but there's three valid ones. Right? The first stupid complaint is complaining about it not being politically correct. Well, that's, if you're facing, the death of your civilization, I don't think political correctness is really all that important, yeah? The second invalid reason is talking about causing offence. Okay, well, if we're going to base our whole legal system on the idea that who's caused offence, then all I need to do is go and say I'm offended and I can change the system to suit me. That is a completely stupid way of defining your law. So there are three valid reasons, and this is what they are, and this is why the whole thing with Wilders is very complex, because he's kind of got meshed up in this thing. First of all, he's trying to say that he wants to try targeting Islam. The problem is that's not how secular democracies work. Secular democracies work in generic conditions. We don't say, oh, we're going to put a tax on Muslims or something. Muslims can say that. It's called the jizya, and they do it in the Islamic countries. They put a tax on the Christians.